For those of you that wants to get into PC gaming in 2022 but only have a budget of $100 for the graphics card, I think I have found the two perfect high-end GPUs that came out all the way back in 2011 and 2012 for you to consider. So don't click off this video and let's get to it. Before I start the video, this video is sponsored by the subscribe button. So click on that subscribe button right now so I could create more videos like this in the future. Now let's get to the video. What is going on, everyone? It's the most underrated PC building YouTube channel back again with another YouTube video. Today I'll be pinning the GTX 680 4GB against the HD7970 3GB in 9 different tests to see which one you should pick up. Before I get to the benchmarks, let's talk about the graphics cards and the test system. On the green team, the GTX 680 4GB launched all the way back on March 22nd in 2012 by Nvidia, and it was a monster of a GPU on their Kepler architecture at the time. Nowadays, it's comparable to a GTX 1050 Ti. Also, driver support for the 600 to 700 series graphics cards ended recently, which means this graphics card will no longer receive any graphic driver optimizations for any future titles. But regardless, I think it is a beast of a GPU for around $100 in 2022. On the red team, the HD7970 3GB launched all the way back on December 22nd of 2011, which was a full year before the GTX 680 launched. It was AMD's high-end graphic card for their GCN 1.0 architecture. Like the GTX 680, it also performed similar to a GTX 1050 Ti for just around $100. Sadly, driver support has also ended for this generation of AMD GPUs, but there are workarounds and hacks on YouTube to make the newer drivers support this GPU. For the test system, I built this all-white gaming PC with an i7-3770, which I was able to get on AliExpress along with the motherboard and RAM for only $220. This was a pretty good price considering I don't have to go out for any of these parts. The i7-3770 has 4 cores and 8 threads, base clock of 3.4 GHz and a turbo of 3.9 GHz. This CPU is actually still a pretty capable CPU for all of you budget gamers in 2022. You could pick them up for around $50 to $100 on the used market or on AliExpress, but I'll leave an AliExpress link down in the description for the i7-3770 or alternative CPUs if you are too lazy to look by yourself. For the motherboard, I bought this off AliExpress brand new with the CPU and RAM. It is the B75M motherboard, which also supports a NGFF M.2 SSD. And for those of you that don't know what NGFF is, it is what a lot of people call M.2 SATA SSD. And of course, for the boot drive, I went with a 128GB NGFF SSD. I think it's a pretty good option for budget gamers because this SSD also works with newer motherboards. And of course, I added a 500GB hard drive in this system that I got for $10 used for all the benchmarks in today's video. For the RAM, I decided to go with this 16GB 2x8 kit clocked at 1333 MHz just because it was the cheapest option for a 16GB kit RAM on AliExpress, and that's all you really need for an i7-3770. As for the power supply, it is a Cooler Master Watt Lite 600W 80+ white unit, which is also non-modular. I was able to get it used for only $20, which is not too bad for an 80+ rated PSU. I also decided to go with this power supply because these old GPUs requires at least 550 watt on the official website, but realistically you could get away with a modern reputable 450 watt 80+ bronze unit. Finally, we have the case. I decided to go with the Jeepcool MacCube 310p just because it's all white, and of course I added 3 RGB fans inside because I'll be flipping this PC after filming this video. With all that being said, let's get to the 9 benchmarks, which consist of Unigine Heaven, 3D Mark Firestrike, Splitgate, Rainbow Six Siege, CSGO, GTA 5, Valorant, Apex Legends, and Fortnite. Keep in mind these results were recorded back in November of 2021, so numbers may be a little bit worse or better. So those were the benchmarking results, and I gotta say, I am impressed by the level of performance these two graphics cards pushed out. Although for the most part, the HD7970 3GB performed similar to the GTX 680 4GB, it definitely had a better result in 3D Mark Firestrike and Apex Legends. It was such a big difference that I actually had to reinstall the graphic driver a couple times, as well as running 3D Mark Firestrike back to back. But in the end, the results were the same. As for Apex Legends, it kind of makes sense because the game was optimized for AMD cards, but in Firestrike, it was better by around 3,000 points, which is a huge amount. But if you don't play Apex or care about Firestrike scores, I think the GTX 680 4GB is a way better buy, considering it has that 4GB of VRAM. It would definitely be better for content creators, as most of the editing software recommend a minimum of 4GB of VRAM. But let me know down in the description on which card is a better buy. With all that being said, if you liked the video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you didn't, still give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.